Thank you so much, Vinod, for that warm and generous introduction. Folks, here what we are presenting are the people who are driving today's workshop. So Vinod already gave my introduction. Just quick introduction about Vinod as well. We actually met in the US, okay, in New York. He was visiting for some time. And whenever, folks come to meet me, I typically try to join them for lunch or coffee. And that's how we met. And, we came to know that he was super passionate about driving our, students' initiatives. So when he had an opportunity to come back to India, he has been driving most of our India chapters. I have lost count how many chapters he started in Chandrapur, and some places I don't even know those places now. Okay, so he has been extremely instrumental in connecting people, connecting students with mentors, and connecting different disciplines and folks like that. So, and we have, in terms of his academic credentials, he's an MBA and PhD from IIM Mumbai. And he has been consultant with IBM, which is a very prestigious corporate firm. And he currently is a partner at Prakriti Ventures. And he's been, of course, our senior mentor of Global Empower Network. Shubham, maybe you want to stand up and wave your hand. Okay, so Shubham is our ex-student, Global Empower Network student, and I remember it was maybe 2016 when we first met. It was Dr. Ambedkar's 125th birth anniversary that was being celebrated all over the world. And we, with Hemant Sute, most of you are aware of him also. He's also instrumental in guiding our students. Directly, indirectly, he and we kind of collaborated. Ambedkar International Mission collaborated with Social Justice Department to start the residential program, which was a special program in paying tribute to Dr. Ambedkar, and it was a residential program, 3 months residential program that was organized in Nagpur, and Shubham was part of that batch. And he came to US. He absolutely studied when he joined. Again, similar to one of you guys, right? Not knowing much, but he was very determined to go. And he is one of our best mentors. Knows in and outs of the scholarship, be it a Government of Maharashtra scholarship and National Overseas Scholarship, because most of our students, come through those. And it's an intricate process, right? It's super complex process. And, we have stumbling blocks, and that's where he is always there. Round the clock, you will see him on WhatsApp answering questions, students' questions. And lastly, Atul Dhopte. Atul, maybe you want to stand up and wave. Atul is my dear younger cousin as well. And Atul is one person where I can call him in the middle of the night and he will never say no. If I ask him that, Atul, get up and go and meet, so Manel ki, I will not do it tomorrow, I'll do it tonight only. So he's that kind of person. And he also, works as a professional at Infosys. And he also has been guiding higher study, for higher studies. And one of the initiatives that we ran long time ago, and it's still going on, is the AIM IMS initiative. IMS gives like 80%, 20% coaching off for our students. He has driven that initiative for many, many years. So, out of the blue, student even reach out to him today and they'll say, sir, is the initiative still on? And we still do the due diligence of the students, and students avail of that program. So since then, and we started this program like in 2005, it's still going on. And of course, he remains a very strong mentor for. So I will encourage all of you when the sessions are over, if you have any questions, meet any one of us and connect with us, take our numbers, and happy to answer your questions now. And if we can't, then of course we can be in touch offline also after this program. Okay, so with that, we will just get started. Can we go to the next slide? I think, okay. I want to draw attention to this slide. This is a very important slide, okay? I just wanted to tell you what are the US trends, okay? Typically, people who are coming, students who are coming to US. Can we go back one slide, Atul? Yeah, so at the very top, you see China, okay? And this data is little dated because that COVID time, not many students actually went. Most of the programs were online. So this is really little dated, but the data has not changed much. So you'll see that the population of India and China is pretty comparable. And I think India has taken over in the recent past, even and now we are first in the population, but see the number of students that go. India is almost half of China. You see, India is almost half of what China students go there. Now, let's do analysis of this. Why is this? Our education, mostly, we do it in English, right? If you go to, I mean, these days, we start in kindergarten, it's in English. Most of the science, math subjects are taught, science, even social sciences are taught in English. In China, they are taught in Mandarin, okay, or their own languages, okay? So they are not as fluent or as good in both verbal and written communication, okay? So that's one point. Second point is, if we look at the process of getting overseas, which is typically taking the GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, GMAT, these are not very tough exams, okay? If we prepare well, these are aptitude tests, okay? The math part is super aptitude. It's not like stochastic calculus or derivatives, right? It's not that. It's aptitude, reasoning. And the second is GRE. I would say that, comprehension can be little difficult, but otherwise English, grammar, you just need to brush up, and you can qualify. So the test, compared to the test which we take for, say, CAT or GATE, those are relatively, I mean, because I had seen both, I can tell you that CAT is super complex then, or I would say the complexity is similar, but the time given is very short compared to GRE or GMAT, right? So it makes it harder. So that means the studies abroad, competitive exams are also not a reason. Then what could be the reason? So first reason tells us that we don't lack in aptitude. We are getting English education. It's just that awareness, okay? It's just that people are not aware there are opportunities. And let me tell you my own experience when I was studying. As Vinod told us, fortunately, I was one of the top rank holders. But even that point of time, I went, when we were engineering second year, our students who had gone to US, they came and they had a session and they told us, GREs, whatever, 5 lakhs. You need to have a bank balance of whatever to show that time. Okay, this is 20, 25 years ago. And we said, we chickened out. We said, we don't have that much and we are not. And then that was the time when I decided that I wanted to do MBA, which was also not very cheap, by the way. It was 1.5 lakhs then. But then, we at least knew that there is the educational loan that we can seek and all. Here, that time, I'm not sure whether this Government of Maharashtra scholarship or NOSS was there. I think it was there, but we were just not aware. Okay, so had we been aware, we could have gone to master's or PhD then, to Harvard or to MIT, to Stanford, whichever universities, right, the top tier universities. But again, lack of awareness. So if I, coming from that background where I went to ANIT, I went to IIM Calcutta, if I'm not aware, I can imagine that people who, from our communities, who come from very humble background, may not even know these avenues. So what we as a community, remember, we have the one best weapon that we in our hands is education. Because of the history, I need not repeat that, but we know that all our the weapons were taken out of our control, right? So the only weapon that we can fight with is education. And which is heartening that we are, our friends in India is emphasizing on education. We from abroad is emphasizing on education. So it is our duty that as and when we come to know about any educational opportunity, we have to share with our family and friends. We have to share with our siblings and broaden the awareness. Once the awareness is there, I'm sure that if that person doesn't come, his younger brother or younger sister will come. If that younger brother or sister doesn't come, maybe their kids will come. Because we are sowing the seeds. And that is important. Okay, but once you know that, then, this is not a tough thing at all. Okay, and we have many, many success stories to share where, I will share those stories just to get for you to know that how people have traded their path towards excellence. So just wanted to make sure that our endeavor is that our intake from our side should be as high as possible. And our endeavor is, again, when we compare different geographies, global geographies, US, UK, Canada, Australia. Our endeavor is, the toughest is to get to US, right? Because the process is complex. You have to take a lot of tests. You have to do a lot of official transcript. But remember, guys, something that you're going to get in a better way is going to be tough, okay? Not something that comes little easily is a red flag, okay? We have to think twice. Oh, something that is coming so easily, too good to be true. Too good to be true, right? So I would say that, I'm not saying that all of us have to go to US, but at least we have to try. We should have a plan A as a US, plan B could be Canada, plan C could be UK, plan 4 could be, I'm just making it up, but it can be your individual plan. But always make sure that try to stretch yourself, guys. And I'm so confident of our community can do the wonders. We can do the best, okay? Provided we are willing to try, okay? And from our side, we are there to mentor. So, and we can always guide you how to do certain process, because we have many mentors. Most of the mentors are in the US, but now we are a global network. As you can see from our name, we have mentors in UK, mentors in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Middle East, European countries. And we have a network. One is a Google group, which has around 5,000 students, 5,000 members. And some of you may be in Telegram group. If you are not, let us know, connect with us, and we are happy to add you. There also we have around 1,500 students, because some students drop off, some students add. So that group is little fluid, I would say. But there are a good number of people that typically I wouldn't say that any question would be unanswered, okay, if you ask. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so typically, these are the favorite destinations. If you just look at some of the surveys, United States still remains, and this is just third-party data, guys, like I said. So this is all over, students from all over. Ultimately, like 42% of the people, they prefer US, then UK, Canada. Canada, by the way, is turning. Maybe this is dated 3-4 years ago, but if you can see, Canada is what US was 20 years ago. When I went on H-1B visa, I went as a lateral move, right? I didn't go for studies. Citigroup sponsored me, and I went there. So those days, a lot of companies could sponsor you to go and work. Okay, so work visa was a common thing. Gone are the days, okay? The only way you can enter US is through higher studies. I mean, see, there are some people tell me that smaller companies, they've gotten, H1, they went there. But then I was talking to them, and they were like, yeah, we came here, but we're still looking for a client. So it's as good as, you went on your own risk and finding yourself. While when I went, my company supported me, right? They found a client before even I went there, and my client, Citigroup New York, was there. So, so I would say that it's very tough, right? It's very tough going, and the higher study is the only option. And some of the other countries also, we have mentors who can guide you for the respective countries. Can we go next? Okay, so we being the foreign students, it is very important for us to observe what is happening in immigration. Okay, so when I say that Canada is now what US was 20 years ago, they are exactly now inviting, they want to grow their economy. So they need people. They need people to take care of their growing population. They need people for their sustainability projects. They want to, become big, right? They want to grow their economy. So how do they do that? They want to invite foreign workers, right? So you'll see I have put Bill Clinton because those were the days when I went, right? It was super easy to go on H1. Then Obama administration was also good. We were hoping that, then Trump came in between, and we saw, right? H1 became lottery, and pretty sad state of affairs. Some of our friends who are very good, like, one of our friends is a master's from here, then MBA from Urbana-Champaign, working in Citigroup, 3 times got his visa rejected. 3 times, not got picked up on, in fact, there is another student who was on J1, didn't get picked up, had to come back, right? So we are dependent on this. So I would say that all of you who are aspiring for higher studies, just make sure that you are always aware of what is happening, how is the landscape on immigration changing. So people who came that time and could avail of the good immigration policies got lucky, were fortunate. right? I can count myself. That time we used to say, oh, 6 years for green card. And these days people say, oh, we don't even know what is that number of years for green card, right? So looking back, we know that we were fortunate. And Canada is, Canada watch the immigration policies. They, one fine day say, all the people who were applied are given PR. They'll just announce. I remember 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, February 15th, I think that's what the announcement is. They said, whosoever have applied are getting everything. So they can just come to Canada, right? So if you have already taken that step, you get that advantage. Okay, so I would very, very highly encourage you to be abreast with what is happening in the immigration process. Go down. Okay, so we are saying, okay, what are the typical challenges for our international students? First one is when you go to the foreign country, you are competing not just with Indians. You're competing with all global students, right? Some could be Japanese, Europeans, Africans, Latin Americans, right? So you are competing globally, right? And they might have been taught something better than what, in the same discipline, maybe they were taught something better, right? So you are competing with them. Number two, they have a local know-how, right? They have networks. Their parents will know somebody, professors or whatever, right? Because they have, they went to school there. So they know the teachers, they know the professors. And the third one is we are always dependent on immigration, right? Our clock is ticking, right? If you go for the STEM program, you have a 3 years OPT. If you go for a non-STEM program, you have a 1 year OPT, right? So your clock is ticking. You cannot have the luxury. So, an American kid can say, I'm taking a break, roaming around the world and coming back, and then, I'll think of pursuing job or pursuing something, opening my own business. You really can't think of that. You can, but you have to make sure that you have all your check boxes done. Okay, so make sure. So within that, what we're saying is we as your mentor community will always make sure that we are helping you throughout your academic journey. And once you come there, we will also help you for, we do the workshop where we will tell you that, okay, how do you prep? How do you prep for, what are the typical cultural shocks you get when you come from India to foreign countries? How do you prepare for that psychologically? How do you prepare physically for the weather changes, right? Weather there is very extreme. If you're coming to the East Coast, like New York, it snows there. And we are not used to, here, even AC doesn't feel like an AC, right? So it's a different thing, right? So we make sure that students are comfortable. They are told every little thing. And then we also tell them that how should they prepare for the next 2 years if they are coming for masters, next 3 years if you're coming for PhDs. How should you prepare? Day one, you should be preparing your resume. What should you highlight on the resume? You should be looking for your internship. You should be building networks. Because in the foreign countries, it's not very easy game, right? In EB schools here, we have a placement week. 100% placement happens in the placement week. Not necessarily there, you will get that opportunity. Your career fairs, where you have to proactively write to companies, proactively meet those guys, and proactively take them for coffee. Sometimes it will click, sometimes it may not click. So you have to do a lot of groundwork, homework, even before the opportunity arises, so that the person knows, oh, this person, reached out to me 6 months ago. Now I have an opportunity, let me go back, right? So it's not that when the opportunity opens up, you go and kind of tell them and approach them. Let's go down. Okay, so a lot of times students and parents, they ask me that when is the right time to go, right? A lot of times people will say that, oh, we passed out 5 years ago, okay? So I'm too old now to be pursuing, okay? Remember, in foreign countries, there is no age bar. Okay, government of Maharashtra scholarship may have age bar, but in foreign countries there is no bar, okay? So there is no age bar for the passion you want to pursue, okay? Similarly, people will say, oh, I'm just 9th grade, is it too early for me to thinking of foreign studies? I will say no. I would encourage all of our families. There are no scholarships for undergrad as of now. But remember, a lot of universities give scholarships, okay? They will not give you 100% scholarship, nobody gives for undergrad. But a lot of times we manage, because of a partnership with these universities, we manage to get significant number of good scholarships. So just to give you an idea, one of our person's son went to University of Ottawa, very prestigious, Waterloo, for undergrad in computer science in Canada. he got good amount of scholarship. Another student from Lucknow, our community, got into UMass Amherst, again for computer science, undergrad. He also got a good scholarship, right? So we are saying that early on if you go, then it is very different because, you're still fresh out of high school and your mind is much more moldable than if you have gone to college, you've gone out of your home, you already are Indian. So it's very difficult to, run the norms and different culture for the master students. So I would say, and I can tell you hundreds of examples where undergrad person joined my team and master's program person joined my team. The communication style, the know-how, the carrying themselves in the meetings, totally different, okay? So some of you I know are aspiring for master's years, but if you're younger siblings and, anytime if you come to know that people say that, oh, should I go to IITs here, or I think IITs education is equally expensive these days. Right? Many lakhs of money you have to spend. So I would highly encourage you to emphasize on that. Okay, so let's go down a little bit. I just wanted to, let's go down. Okay, so some of the partnership universities that we have here are these. Okay, so NYU, ASU, Johns Hopkins, and you can see the Stevens, Purdue, Brick Waterloo. So this is just a few of them. Okay, so we have a Global Empower Network, which is our voluntary effort. But for partnerships, we have our endeavor where we can, talk to after applications are submitted, we can talk to the universities and tell them that this is our students. They will qualify for Government of Maharashtra scholarships and NOSS. So, they will at least review your application because sometimes these universities, their conversion rates are like 1%, right? Like Harvard is 1.5%. So imagine, if they are taking 100 students, how many? So, they may not able to get review, but because of our partnerships, we are able to question them that this person, can you please review and give us the result, whether yes or no. Sometimes it could be denial, but at least we are not in a limbo that we have applied and we don't know. Okay, so let's go down. Okay, so these are our students, okay? These are our Gen students who have reached out to us and we help them get into the admission. So Namanjaya. So now a couple of things I want to just make sure that how we help our students. How many of you are aware of Government of Maharashtra scholarship? Raise your hands. That's it? These guys here, you are not? Okay. So Government of Maharashtra scholarship is a scholarship which is run by Social Justice Department. And it is given to SC students, ST students, OBC, and there are some general category numbers as well here. So typically the results of that scholarship comes way too late. In August, right? And August, people are joining almost foreign countries. So if you get a result, then you tell your university, oh, I have gotten the funding now, give me the I-20. Then they send the I-20, you get a service, and then after that, you apply for your visa window, right? You have to be awake late night to just see that 1 minute window to just press the button that you get the window, right? It's a challenge. So you're losing 1 to 2 months in that process, right? So what we did is we also have partnership with lenders. What we do is we take the pre-approvals on the basis of which you can tell that at least if scholarship doesn't come, you will bank on loan. And you can have both options ready. You need not take the loan actually if you get a scholarship. So Namanjaya was like that. She got into Harvard. We were able to give her the pre-approval letter and she could go. Kapil got into, so we helped him for the little bit of our career counseling services as well. Pradnya, she couldn't join the JHU, but she got the admit. Her program was a little bit online and offline. First year was online and she didn't want that, but she was a very bright student. She's still a bright student, but because of her own choice that she didn't want to. And Akash is there already in the US. He joined NYU. Let's go down. So see, this is the guy I was talking about, the undergrad, University of Waterloo, very prestigious ranked university. Some people have gone to Australia as well. Sorry, I think the name is not correct for that guy. It should be Vaibhav. Mustafa Muhammad is also there. Surbi Mende. Surbi Mende, I must tell you, this girl was very determined. Okay, she had a 3 years degree, and typically most of the US universities require 12 plus 4. Okay, so she had done her BSc, 3 years BSc. So we told her that we need, MSc first year completed so that it becomes 12 plus 4. And she was like, ma'am, I'll do it. So she got enrolled. Okay, and then she was like, ma'am, I want to apply to the best of the university, and ASU was her dream university. Okay, because of whatever her marks, that was the best university she was aiming for, which she was like 200% sure that she will not get. Okay, but then I pushed her to get into, to apply, and then she got it, was super happy, and she's pursuing now, she's in the US second year. Let's go down. Same thing with Ashay Nagdive. When he came to us, he was holding a NJIT admit, which is very lower ranked university. And so when I said, okay, let me see your profile and see, so I could see that he could get in mechatronics, robotics in ASU. And he's like, no, ma'am, my profile is not so good. I don't want to. I was like, application, fee are not there. It's waived off. Just apply. You don't have any harm in applying. He applied, and again, he passed out with flying colors. He was super happy. So once in a while, he'll write to me long thank you email that thanks for pushing him. Similarly, this girl, St. Louis, is very good university for pursuing MPH, public health. Okay, people who are planning to pursue. In public health, you have to make sure that your university is offering you the NAACS accredited program. Okay, before coming here, I just met one girl who got into one university and hers is not, and she's self-funding her education. So imagine if you're putting so much of money from your own pocket, and at the end of it, you know that you'll not get a job. It's not something that you want to pursue. So I would say, guys, if you have smartphone and internet, we do not have any excuse, guys. Okay, remember, if we have a smartphone and internet connection, we do not have excuse saying we don't know. Period. We have to know. Everything is there on internet. Everything is there. If you don't know, then we mentors are there. You have to find it out. Everything is written there, okay? It is little cumbersome to go and see, but everything is there, and you have to reach out, okay? And one thing, as a global Empower network, we want to make sure that we are there to assist you. We are not there to spoon feed you. Okay, so a lot of times students come to me saying, ma'am, I'm looking for an accommodation. I said, I'll add you. You post your own message so that people can directly. They expect us to talk to the students. No, the guys, that's not happening. That is not our objective. Our objective is to empower you to be independent, okay, to be confident. And if you cannot converse in our group, guys, trust me, the world out there is very, very tough. So you have to be confident. And let people say anything to you. Just ignore. If they say something bad to you, oh, what kind of stupid question, don't you know this? Yeah, you don't know, and that's the reason asking. There is nothing called a stupid question. There's always awareness that you have to build. So ask. Do what mentors are telling you. Okay? If you have questions, doubt, and not understood, ask again. And that's where our AI thing comes into picture, where we have built an AI bot, where you can ask the same questions over and over again, and it will simplistically, answer you. So let's go down. These are another two students. Go down. Go down. These are some of the places where our folks are working. Go down. Okay, so go down. I want to talk about how do we prepare for foreign studies, right? So there are certain number of things that you have to absolutely know about. What's the time check? Okay, so we have to absolutely know that SOP and LOR are very key. Okay, how many of you have your SOPs ready? Those who are planning to, how many of you are planning to apply to overseas studies? Okay, and how many of have your SOP readies? LORs ready? Transcript ready? Transcript is ready. Okay, official transcript ready? Official also? From which agency have you gotten your transcript? For which agency have you gotten your official transcript? Is it WES, ECE, Spantran? Okay, that means you don't have the official. Okay, let me explain you what is the official transcript guide. So most of the time in India, when we get our transcript, it is 100 from 100% or on the scale of 10. Most of the universities. When you're applying to US or Canada, their GPA scale is 4 out of 4. So there are these independent agencies which universities want your transcript to be converted into their scale. Okay, so what you have to do is they ask you, and these companies are independent agencies like WES, WES, ECE, SpanTran. Okay, these are the companies that I am aware of who are NAACS accredited, who will give you the transcript evaluation, and they'll tell you that if you have gotten 8.5 out of 10, they'll convert and they'll say, oh, this is 3.6 out of 4. Okay, so they look at not just your, it's not a simple math. They look at the university you have passed out from, how many students were there. So they have a lot of data, and algorithm is black box. We don't know the algorithm. But all these, typically the top tier universities like Ivy League or tier 1 universities will ask you for official evaluations. For example, JHU, Johns Hopkins, all the Ivy Leagues, Harvard, everybody, they will ask you for evaluations. NYU will ask for evaluations, okay? So remember that. Go down. Okay, so typically when you are applying for foreign studies, these are the documents you should always keep yourself ready with, okay? SOP, letter of recommendation, passport. Sometimes passport, people are not even, they come to us and then they don't even have passport. But so remember, passport also there's expedited process, so we tell our students to get in that expedited process where you can apply and within 2 weeks or so you can get your passport, okay? Otherwise the passport can take 3 to 6 months, I don't know, how long does it take. Test preps. Lot of times when the universities are giving you admissions without any test score, red flag. Okay, a lot of times UK universities are not asking you for any English proficiency test, and there are these 1-year courses. We highly encourage, discourage our students to go for those because you spend your time, money, energy, will not get the return expected. Instead of that, try to take this test, go apply for the better universities. And if you don't get, then, as a fallback, of course, put, some applications on the UK universities also. I always of the opinion that plan A, plan B, plan C should be there in life. Not everybody can go to Harvard. Right? If that was the case, we would not have any universities, right? But does that mean the other universities are not good? No. You have to make those universities proud by being part of their system and doing something unimaginable so that they will say that, oh, this was our student. And people will recognize that university by your name. Okay, so let's aspire for that kind of goal. And if some of you have WorkX, so you can have, WorkX all related. Okay, go down. Okay, so statement of purpose. Do we have internet, Atul, here? I wanted to show some, chat box also. Can we see some? So our partnership with foreign universities is through our endeavor, Glodemy. In that glodemy.com, if you go, there's a chat box we have added. Okay, so, and all the answers we have given in very simple words. So you can just write any simple question, what is a STEM program, and it will give you. What is a official transcript evaluation, it will give you. So, and you can go back, ask again, or you can scroll up and see what was the answer that we got. Sometimes, if you want a very short answer, you can say, give me in 1 sentence, and you'll get the answer. Okay, so we are trying to automate as much as possible so that we can help our students to apply directly. So AI is the name of the game, and we want to make sure that our chat box are able to help you guys. So when we are trying to build your statement of purpose, again, there are very standard guidelines that we will tell you. Just make sure, guys, pay attention to this. It should not be just cookie cutter, one statement of purpose goes to all programs. If you're changing the programs, make sure you are fine-tuning it to match to that program. Similarly, letter of recommendations, and I'll let you read this later. Letter of recommendations, a lot of times students get letters from their professors who have an email address at Gmail or yahoo.com. No, it won't do. It has to be from domain like .edu, from, if they are your professors, if they are your, say, managers, so it should come from their corporate domain, right? If they are a Citigroup, so at city.com, or if they are like vnit.edu or whatever, right? So make sure that they are coming from the domain, right domains. Make sure they are dated. A lot of times people don't, because sometimes letter of recommendation is taken 3 months ago and now you're submitting it. Just make sure that the date is there, either old or recent. You can always change the date, edit the date and do that. But make sure the date is there, because again it will be rejected. Let's go down. Letter of recommendation. So with that, I just want to take a pause to see how many of you are targeting for spring 2024? Okay. Sorry, fall 24. Spring, and you are ready with your SOPs and everything? Which year are you in? You are working. So you completed your undergrad. What did you graduate in? In 4 years course, right? Okay. So I would say, again, let me tell you a little bit about fall, the difference between fall and spring session. If you come for the spring session, which starts typically Jan to December, it's difficult to get in between, because your 1 year, the middle point of your 1 year comes in summer. And a lot of times you have your schools and you don't get time off that you can do a very good duration internships, right? So most of the time we encourage our students to go for fall session, because fall starts August to, then it ends in May, and June, July, August you can do internship, which becomes a very strong credential on your resume, right? So that you can, when you apply to the companies, you can say that's my latest work experience, right, of having the internship. So I would say, make sure, unless, you have tried many times and, you have deferred it many times, and if that deferral is going to expire in that spring, and you won't, again, otherwise again you will have to apply. In that situation, I will say that, okay, still go, don't lose that opportunity, but as much as possible, try for the fall, because of the benefits. With that, let me take a pause to see that any questions on so far what I've covered. And guys, be interactive. So you have thought of the programs you want to apply? Information technology, masters or masters. Countries you have identified? UK. Why UK? Because no tests? Then? Sorry? GMAT? So GMAT is, no, so you wanted to take GMAT. No, but that has nothing to do with the UK. Okay, guys, let me clarify. Again, guys, read a lot, okay? GMAT is for MBA, okay? So if you are saying you are going for masters in information technology, you don't need GMAT. Master in finance, okay. Then in that case, again, if you are doing masters in finance, you need GRE. But if you want MBA, you need MBA in finance, then you need GMAT, okay? By the way, I don't think UK requires GMAT, okay? It's the US that requires GMAT, and for the B school, okay? For the B school program. So guys, I would say that, prep yourself up for, just like, in India we have GATE and CAT. You can't take GATE for B schools or CAT for IITs, right? It's like that. So just make sure, again, be active in our groups, ask questions to our mentors on Saturday calls, and see if you can get your answer, questions answered. Okay, so how many, just once again, how many of you have completed your studies and are looking to apply? Oh, all of you have. And how many of you who have raised your hands have WorkX? You are still working. Okay, and how many of you are going to apply for the scholarship? Okay, great. So I would say all of you should target definitely next. I think National Overseas Scholarship is also going to come in November. No? It's March directly? Feb? No, but deadline is March 31st last time, right? Oh, so the ad comes, so it's once in a year? Okay, so once in a year. So see, anyways, guys, you are going to miss your spring. Spring sessions typically start. So all of you who raised your hands just now should try for fall 2024, okay? Make sure where you want to go. Again, guys, I will say, give your best. Don't take a shortcut. Now you will have to pay a little bit of extra efforts, but trust me, guys. Trust me, there is no shortcut in life. Okay, because we are so used to seeing TikTok videos which are 10 seconds, not more than that. Don't get into the habit of having everything fast, guys. Babies are not born in 1 month. What will happen if babies are born in 1 month? It takes 9 months for a healthy baby to come out, right? Can we say, oh, we'll expedite that? No. Some things take time. Prepare, be knowledgeable, be confident that you are going to be aspiring for something that you know the best. At least we know that we have gotten one life, and try the best thing that you know in whichever field you are pursuing. Whatever you think is the best, you know the best, try for that. Okay? Never ever keep the aim low, saying that, I don't know, I'll get it or not. Let them decide. You are not deciding that you are not going there. Let them say no. You give your best foot forward and see what happens. Okay, because we have seen many wonders happen. So I'm confident that all of you are super smart. It's just that requires a lot of determination, lot of persistence. ज्याला आपण चिकाटी म्हणतो ना मराठीत, we need that. You have to be very focused on your aim, what you want to do in life. And, you know, it will happen. Yeah, question?
Ma'am, one of our sources have told us that we don't get scholarship for MPH. So I don't exactly know that the whatever source I'm getting, is it true or false?
No, they were not on scholarship. They took loan. Some of the students that I've showed, like, yeah, they all went on our partner loan. So they took, okay, so the loan, I wanted to make sure, in India, when you get a loan, a lot of times you have to have a collateral. Collateral means you have to keep something as a collateral, right?
Mortgage.
Mortgage, yeah. Right? Not necessarily a mortgage, any kind of collateral. Mortgage is one type of collateral. It could be insurance policies, it could be your fixed deposit, it could be anything. Okay? But you need to show you need to pledge your assets as a mortgage, as a collateral, right? In foreign countries, the partnership, especially that we have for US universities, are absolutely collateral free and cosigning free. So in the US, if you directly go for and apply to loan, they will say, oh, you need a co-signee who is a green card holder or a citizen. So imagine if you have your close relatives, they might become your co-signee, but mentors are not going to, right? Because if mentor becomes for one student, then 10 students will say, oh, just become co-signee. And that's not possible, guys, okay? So we have to make sure that what is realistic in. So one of the lenders we have partnered with, so Namanjaya actually, and that Nimisha also took the loan from them. And, you know, the process was very simple. 48 hours, you get a pre-approval on the basis of which you can apply to I-20. So I definitely tell people that while you wait for the scholarship, start your process through these guys, right? Get the pre-approval. So MPH, I don't think that's the right information, because Namanjaya just went, she's already in the US.
Question is that we have these scholarships like national overseas scholarships and state scholarships. So these national NOS or MO
to take SAT or ACT. There are two exams for undergrad, SAT and ACT. AT and ACT. So there's a small nuances between the two. SAT is more math focused. Those people who are good in math should take SAT, and people who are good in English comprehension should say ACT. Okay? ACT, typically you get the grades out of 36. You can get 36 out of 36, 35 out of 36. That's the max score. And SAT is 1600 is the max score. So they are both the exams. So student can take that summer, 11th summer. No, so again, it's like a question like JEE, right? What is the cutoff to get? So I mean, there are some people who will even score 1600, like very rare, but 1600 is a score you can consider. 1580s, 1490 is also good if you really are targeting. 1480, 1490 is also good. Aspire for the best score. 1500 and above are almost always good. Yeah, SAT. So again, there are no scholarships from government of India that we are aware of undergrad, but the universities do give scholarships to international students, and we have managed to get good scholarship, like $10,000 per year is a good amount, right? If the total fees are 30K, if you get 10K, right, 20K, at least you 1/3 you've gotten as a scholarship. So I think that's the kind of scholarships we have gotten for the undergrad students. And universities are a little flexible because no, so I'm talking on an average. If you go for Ivy Leagues, it could go up to 50, 60, 50, 60 also, Ivy Leagues, yeah. So on an average, like University of Waterloo, right? It was a Canadian university. So if you convert into US dollars, it will come out to that. But I would say that, it's a different ball game. If you are from a well-off family or you have the ability to raise loans, I would say that go for even undergrad, because the quality of education is totally different. Yes, sir. Undergrad students are allowed to work. Maybe, yeah, but you don't earn really much, and the studies are so harsh. No, so again, it depends from country to country. I think I have not seen many people working. They work during the internship, right? Summer. I've seen they work right from their first year internship. Every year, my nephew. Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, how much they will get? They will not going to earn much. So it's not worth it. Means working and compromising on your studies, because if you've gone for studies, might as well do good, concentrate, get good grades. So master students are different, right? They are little senior. They can manage the work and study kind of balance. But we will not encourage our undergrad students to go for any part-time work. Top tier universities, I don't think top tier universities really require, UK require any test. But again, you will have to see, because every university have their own things, right? That's what foreign studies is so difficult, and we say it's intricate, because every university will say, and within that also universities say, for these programs we need GRE, for these programs we don't need, right? Typically STEM programs, they will ask for GRE. For non-STEM program, they can say, oh, we are waiving off, because it's very difficult for them to get. But UK, I don't think, maybe guys, you tell me, Shubham, UK have entrance test? Yeah. Even IELTS, sometimes people have told me that even IELTS is not required for. Yeah, they have this concept of, if you have the certificate, yeah, medium of instruction as English, on the basis of that, they do go. But I would highly encourage you guys that if you are planning to go to UK, by all means go. I wish you all the best. Talk to the mentors. Talk to the mentors who've gone there, who have come back. What were their experiences? One experience I had was really bad. This guy went there, spent a lot of money, and really his course was not recognizable in India. So it was really harsh, and the immigration was not supporting. So unlike that, at least US universities, even if you come back, people, they are recognized here, and the courses are 2 years courses. They are also recognized. So just make sure you are making, because you're investing huge money, guys. It's not a 5 rupees thing or 5,000 rupees thing, right? It's a huge money. So make a wise decision. That's all. Yeah. I have not seen that problem, frankly. We've applied to many universities. It should be dated. All they say is dated. But if you are able to justify that you studied then and you got, and for the 2 years you've been applying, there should not be a problem. No. So see, all they look at, guys, is, because most of the time when you apply to the university, they ask you to give the information of the recommender, right? And the auto-generated email goes to the recommender, right? So what you provide there is typically their name, their designation, their blah, 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 whatever, right? And then they write. So all what they do is they just copy paste whatever, right? But it comes as a recommendation submitted now. Okay, so most of the times it happens like that, where they are, they are okay with the PDF of it. I would say that it should not be a problem. Should not be a problem. And if you are confident that we can you can save it as current date and send it, that should not be a problem. I don't think they look at that issue so keenly. Okay, maybe I will say that we'll switch on to the next phase in our seminar, and I would like to invite Shubham to share his experiences. Shubham, please, you are our connoisseur on scholarships. You have first-hand experience. By the way, guys, I did not study in any of the foreign universities, right? So whenever students start asking me questions, I'm like, old timer, ask people who've just recently graduated. They are the best ones to share their experiences. So over to you. So then, if any mentor is not replying, you are not dependent, right? Because this is just information, right? You don't, it's transcript, yeah. Huh? I mean, see, nobody is making it up, so it is all, it goes to the public sources. It's like Google or ChatGPT. How many of you have heard of ChatGPT? Yeah. How many of you are actively using ChatGPT? Perfect. Yeah. So basically, all guys, the way AI revolution is happening, most of the APIs are provided by OpenAI, right? So you don't have to again write the entire machine. You don't have to write another ChatGPT, right? But what you can do is you can go through the APIs. I think the connectivity is super slow. So it's not popping up, because at my home it pops up like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so looks like, yeah, so looks like, so what I'm saying is just ask any simple question, and you don't have to be dependent on any mentors. But of course, if there is a specific case, see, what we don't have integrated here our partnership universities. That's not, it's phase 1. Okay, so but it is still written by me, where in very simple language as much as possible, so that you will say that, oh, after some information it will say, if you have more deeper question, then ask a consultant. Put the WhatsApp number is there, you can always WhatsApp. Sorry? No, this is website. So what we are going to do is, we are going to automate this further, where we'll link it to the university programs. So if you say MPH, so you maintain your profile, and then we'll say, okay, what are the top 3 programs that I'm eligible for, it will give you. And then we'll make it automated that it will ask you, do you want to apply? You say yes to one, application is done. So that's in the works. But I just use these guys as much as possible to just ask, what are the providers? Vinod, can we write what are the official transcript agency providers? Okay, yeah, so, see, for example, there are various agencies that provide official transcript services. One common example is NACS, which accredits third-party independent companies that specialize in evaluating and converting transcript to a common scale accepted by universities. Some of these agencies include WES, World Education Services, I didn't even remember the long form, ECE, and SPANTRAN. Okay, because I have written these 3, so it has not given any more. I'm sure there are many. These agencies are recognized for their expertise in evaluating and verifying. So if you write it in Google, I'm sure you'll get much more. But here it is like much targeted information. If you need further assistance, I recommend reaching out to our whatever, right? So leverage these guys. Sometimes you're in a rush, you don't get answers. In that case, yeah. 1 second. Do we have refreshments ready? Okay, so looks like, guys, refreshments are ready. Do we want to take few more questions before we get started, or and then we will get started? So maybe 5:15, we'll take few more questions. And okay. So the question is, what are the cheaper cities? I mean, okay, so it's always you pay more, you get more. High risk, high return, right? So Maybe if you want to invest less, then expect the returns also mediocre, okay? I would say don't think of that, guys. See, in the broader scheme of things, whatever we are spending for studies is nothing, okay? Let me give you my example. I took 1.5 lakhs of loan, rupees, for my MBA education. I paid it off in 6 months of my first job. I prepaid it, okay? So that was like way before, yeah, 20 years ago, right? Because from B school, CAT, I am Calcutta, you get like very, very, lucrative jobs, yeah. Yeah, but now the jobs are also more, no? Because I have my team in Mumbai, so I know their pay scales. Yeah, 50 lakhs, but 50 lakhs, sir, आता पगार ही आहे. माझ्या मुलांना आहे. I manage the team in Mumbai and Pune, so I know how much I pay them, right? No, no. So the foreign country lender is only for masters as of now. Okay, disclaimer. They will not sponsor the undergrad studies. So undergrad studies financing is limited, but I think there are some good companies in India also who are doing financing. But again, guys, sir, the question is, if the loan amount has increased, the fees have increased, your salaries will also have increased. Okay, how much we are spending for IIM Calcutta, IIM Ahmedabad? 25 lakhs? Okay, the analyst I hire in Citigroup Mumbai, I pay him 25 lakhs. The analyst. My VPs are paid 50 lakhs. My SVPs are paid, these are their packages. And I'm telling you because these are the packages that I handle. नाही, पण हे टॉप लेवलचे नाही आहेत सर. हे ॲनालिस्ट लोकलला 25,000 आम्ही सिटी ग्रुपमध्ये देतोय. VPला तर असं असतात टायटल्स. हां, द MBA असतात त्यांना, या. So the undergrad is called analyst. The graduates are called associates. The associates we pay like 25 lakhs. The VPs we pay 50 lakhs. मग SVPs we pay 86 lakhs. आणि डिरेक्टर असेल तर 1 crore. हे packages आहेत. So if you are telling me that if we have to hire any MBA student, everything is commensurate. Nothing is, you can't have that parity, right? Parity is always going to be there between expenses and revenues. So don't worry. This should be the last concern that you have in your mind. A lot of students come to me, madam, low rate of interest is high. काय फरक पडतो 6 काय 7 काय 8 काय? That's very marginal. That should be least of your concern. Somebody is helping in the need of your hour should mean much more to you than counting pennies. Don't count pennies, guys, when you are looking at some bigger picture in life. Okay? तर तो sincere एक feedback आहे. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention that Shubham mentioned, visa, F1 and J1 visa. J1 visa requires you to come back, but there are some disciplines where you can get waiver. Okay, so if you have to write to Indian government, you have to write to US government. And in fact, Kapil Wankhede was the one who got that waiver and he could stay back. But unfortunately, when the H1 visa happened, he didn't get picked. Yeah, so he got the waiver and he could stay back on J1. So I would say that if there are, let's have the questions. It's already 5:10, 5:12. We'll have a little bit of snacks, and over snacks, reach out to any one of us, and we can talk, eat, everything. Huh.
My institute is already NAC accredited. So do I need to register again for official accreditation because it's NAC A+ accredited?
Good question. What she's asking is her institute is NACS accredited. Okay, beta. So what they are saying is these agencies are NACS accredited. They are not colleges. They are independent agencies. They are like rating agencies. Okay? who are rating your credentials, your transcript. But they also are like, there are third parties who will not be NACS accredited. So consider you are applying for JHU and you do go to some ABC XYZ company in somewhere, right? And they will tell you, they'll take you $100 and they'll say, oh, I'll give you a. But if the JHU doesn't recognize that company as a NACS accredited, you have lost your $100. Ask the chat box. Also go and verify on Google, because all these three agencies are NACS accredited, and there are many other agencies also. But you should always check. So if somebody is telling you, oh, give me whatever, don't fall for that. Check all these things, okay, beforehand. Before you, especially when you're putting money, make sure that you've checked all the things before giving money. Okay, so shall we, so कसं बाहेर करायचं आहे, कसं असतं? And then we can, people can bring on in snacks and sit and eat, or कसं असतं सर इथले आपले बानाईचे? पण म्हणजे कोणाला बसून वगैरे खायचं असेल तर चालेल ना, असं काही नाही. ओके, हां हां, आणि देन वी कॅन, ओ रिअली? Okay, so okay, our friends are saying that you can go, those who want to ask the question, how would we line up? Karan, you know, it will take time, we are a lot of us. So guys, feel free to grab the snacks and come back and then ask questions. Okay, transcript, good question. Transcript साठी खर्च किती आहे? There's just one evaluation. नाही, सगळे. Yeah, all 8 semesters you have to give. Typically, they range from $150 to $350, आणि मग त्याच्यात तुम्हाला, if you want expedited service, then they add more $50. काही काही पार्टनर्स सोबत आपले डिस्काउंट आहे, तर we can give you discounts also. Some partners offer us discount. No, not all. Most of the tier 1 universities require that. Like all Ivy Leagues, Harvard. Canada also, good universities in Canada will ask that. Yeah. What's the question?
Got graduated from Anna University, Madras Institute of Technology, IT, just this year. How to process? They are saying something, we need transcript from the university also. So only mark sheets and all that will not work, or you have to get.
Okay, yeah. The question is, if you are studying in India, how do you approach your own university to ask for transcript? Because most of the time you get mark sheet, right? But guys, go and ask them what is a transcript. Most of the universities are aware of what is a transcript, okay? So you have to go to that admin department and ask them that we are looking to apply to foreign countries, and hence we need transcript from the universities, okay? They will, they may say that they don't know. In that case, just say, you know, go and show them some Google, other examples of other universities. Most of the time, you will see on their website, they will say that official transcript is there and this is how to request. Most of the time, Indian universities are aware. Anna University खूप चांगली आहे सर, त्यांना ते माहीतच असणार. No. So, sir, transcript, okay, there is unofficial transcript, official transcript, right? The unofficial transcript is needed everywhere, and everybody knows. All Anna University will definitely know. Okay? And then there are these official, right? VES evaluation. Te tumhala, then you have to pay money and then get it done.
I have one question. Ma'am, with layoffs happening in 2022 and multiple banks collapsing, so what do you think about the job market in future?
Very good question. The question is, with layoffs happening in 2022, beta, let me tell you, I got laid off many times. Multiple times. Okay? And most of the time after my layoff, when my next job I joined, it was double in salary. Okay? So don't worry about the layoffs. US corporate world is firing and hiring. It is bound to be part of our... I remember when I got fired for the first time, I did not speak to anybody. I did not tell my mom. I was in Bombay. I did not tell my mom. I did not even tell to my roomies. roommates that I used to live with. We used to share, three of us used to share room in Bombay. I did not tell, and I was the one who used, we had one bathroom, three girls, one bathroom, used to share. I used to be the first one who will go and use the bathroom, and they were like, oh, these days you are not going, what happened? No, I have my sales call, so I'll go a little later, you guys go ahead. That time, internet was not so prevalent. We didn't have internet at home. So I used to go to cyber cafe, okay, to go onto that Naukri.com and whatnot. Okay, and so it was bad times. These are the .com bust, right? Everybody lost job. And I thought, because of my lack of performance that I lost job. It is never like that, guys. Layoffs is not because of your performance. It is because they want to cut down the cost. It's a cost reduction initiative. So I would say that be open. I learned my lesson, be open, tell people that you are looking for, employers understand, tell your situation. So, so I don't think that the 2022 layoff is any different. We've seen many. So guys, it's the economic cycle. Okay, I should have, maybe it was a different presentation. Yeah, so if we go through the economic cycle, guys, troughs and crests. Okay, life is like that. It's sometimes bed of roses, it's sometimes bed of thorns. Okay, we need to learn. He said, foreign studies will teach you how to find your way through. Right? Like, for example, he shared his own example. He could have been disheartened, oh, I have to go back. No, he made his way, he formed his company. You would have never thought of forming your own company so easily, which he did, right? Because he had that ways and means. They made it independent. He think independently, come what may, you should stand on your own, right? So I would say for that reason, definitely go to foreign countries. I remember I got my first H-1B visa in 1999. Okay, those were the days where they used to just, go walk in into Taj, take any interview, they will give the offer letter. Second day they will say, negotiate and boom. In 3 days I had gotten H-1B, in my offer in US, 1999. You know what, I chickened out. Okay, thinking that, oh, I don't want to go, blah, 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 alone, the foreign country, chickened out. In 2003, I got another opportunity where my boss says, I want to send some of you to New York and some of you to London. Who wants to go? And just before that, my dad had come back from US because my sister was in US. She was married, and my dad had gone to US for the first time, and he came back, and he says to me, "Beta, just go and see that part of the world." That's the word. Those are his words. Just go and see that part of the world. You may decide whatever after that. You want to stay there, stay. You want to come back, come back. So I decided, I was always my father's daughter. So I've always listened to him. Sometimes, not always, but most of the times. He didn't want me to go to MBA. He wanted me to go to IC Bangalore, but again, because I was getting 5,000 stipend there, versus here I had to pay 1.5 lakhs, right? So I didn't listen to him then. I decided to go to B school. But this time around, I was like, maybe dad is saying something. How about we? And boss is anyway saying that he wants to send us. That time I decided to go. This is in 2003, and I went. So don't hesitate, guys. Yes, question. With how many years? 20? 13, okay. Okay, so the question is, the gentleman has completed his engineering from Pune, works for Accenture, have 13 years of experience, and his question is, he found some online AI/ML course. How much it is worth to do this course, and then what are the prospects? So are you saying that you want to work overseas on the basis of this course? Okay. Okay, so again, with respect to coming, and within that also US, are you thinking of US? US, guys, unless and until you are there with a proper immigration working status, it's very difficult to get the job. Okay? So maybe you'll have to find your own company who is willing to sponsor, or just ask Accenture if they are willing to sponsor you for, B1. Go on B1 first. And then, eventually, slowly tell them, oh, I like this country. How about you sponsor my H1? So after going on B1 there, just try for a H1. because H1 has become lottery, right? It becomes very difficult. And it's a real lottery. Initially, I thought it was not a real lottery. Big companies, they will just pick, and the small countries, small companies, they won't. It's not that, because I gave the example of the Urbana Champagne guy. He's like 2 masters, Urbana Champagne, working for Citigroup. His H1 hasn't gotten picked up. Okay, he's asking what about European countries. Germany, I've heard that Germany, France, they need the German language, their own language. So some of the questions have come from this side. One question is, some students, if they are not to want to be going to the very cold weather, what are the options? So US is the place, especially US is the place where you see right from desert to snow to everything, right? So I would say that some of the good universities are in California, Texas, Arizona, on the Florida side also, Atlanta. So these are southern states. Southern states, and you have a good. But okay, let me tell you a little bit of more. How do we prepare for the bad weather there, right? It is, so there is one saying where they say there is nothing called as a bad weather. It's how you adjust yourself or dress, right? So I can tell you, when I went there, I had taken my bulky leather coat till here, long and loose one, from Dharavi. Because Dharavi is very famous for leather,
But which one will not work? You need a tight one.
Exactly, the loose did not work, and my roommate looked at me and he's like, "Are you going to be?" I went on the weekend. She's like, "Are you going in that jacket to on Monday?" I was like, "Yeah, this is what I brought from Dharavi." And she said, "No, let me take you to the mall." She got me the nice one, warm enough.
So you need a proper.
Yeah, so you need earmuffs, you need a scarf, you need gloves, and if you are properly equipped, then I don't think it's a problem. Weather is not a problem, because US is not that cold compared, in comparison to Canada. Okay, the second question was legal, that if you don't have a legal status, how about going on a legal status? No, guys, we are not talking about that. Just make sure you're going to the foreign countries. We want to make our best of the records. We never want to goof up with legal aspects or tax aspect. Remember that. 2 things. Okay, never ever let your record malign due to any legal matter or any tax matter. So it's possible that sometimes you don't know these nuances of J1, F1, right? H1, B1. Make sure that you talk to if you are working for your university, talk to your international immigration office, whatever. If you're working for a corporate, talk to your corporate lawyers. Most of the companies will have their corporate lawyer legal team. If not, personally I have used Visa Pro. It's visapro.com. Is a third party portal which allows you to explain your case and take an appointment for 1 hour consultation. So consider if you're going through blah, 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 your question, right? You have to explain the situation, and what they do is they review your situation and they assign the best of the lawyer who specializes in that. And that you get 1 hour of consultation. You can ask as many questions as possible. So you get a fairly good idea. Right? So there are the third party services. We have availed of those during our times when we were processing our GC and whatnot, or whenever you have to travel back. Right? So when you want to go to India, do you want to stamp your H1? Do you not want to stamp your H1? Do you want to go on advance parole? Or do you want to go on H1? Right? If your GC processing is on. So there are many nuances, right? So you better check that, and you don't want to be getting debarred at airport or, while entering US again. So make sure your individual case is very individual. Read a lot of things on murthy.com and all, a lot of people will tell you. But I would say that definitely try to take the expert advice in such cases, right? We might as well shell out few dollars, but get the better advice and best advice. Yeah. So Glodemy is our endeavor. So when we started Glodemy, just want to give background. It was co-founded by us, me and my husband. And most of the people who are working are our own people. who are, working as a counselors. And for our people, we are giving absolutely free service. For college applications, it's absolutely free. For SOPs, because then we'll have to hire whatever consultants who will help you write. And most of them will be, no, we can't. So we can't give that like a draft SOP. It's a kind of a breach of, so most of the time, again, you can ask the chat box and you'll get the guidance, right? We gave you the guidance, right? Every individual has to write your profile. If you can ask chat GPT, say, write an SOP for me and see the answer. It will politely say that I cannot write, you will have to write, but it will say that, okay, these are the points that you have to include. So yeah, but we help review the language. If there are some shortcomings, we'll tell students, okay, include this. I can give you one example. One of our guys was applied to NYU, okay, but because of a partnership, they liked his amazingly good, nicely written SOP, but it was very short. What it was lacking is why NYU. Okay, so this guy has written about him, blah, 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 nicely written, nice English, very humble background. So NYU said, I want to have an interview with this student before the admit was given. So I would like to interview this guy. They had an online consultation with him, interview with him, and he said, we understood what your background is and what you want to do in future, but we are not very sure why NYU. So what you have to do is basically go and see in that professors who are the professors who are, giving what courses and how you want to learn their courses or how you have done something basic in the things, right, and relate it. He revised his SOP, made it like a little lengthier to explain that. Within 2 days, he got admit. He's there in US now. So, those universities are very considerate, right? They understand that some people come from humble background. They may not know everything. So they said, we are still not able to understand why you want us to come to us. And please elaborate. And then, he took some time. He refreshed his SOP and then he got the admit. So wanted to tell you that this was on Shubham's example also, right? They prep you they develop your personality more than just giving you bookish knowledge and just the technical knowledge. So learn that part from the foreign countries.
Mexico and all this thing,
You want to go there for studies?
I wanted to know.
Okay, the question is about foreign studies in Mexico and Latin American. You mean South American countries? South American countries. I'm not sure about their immigration policies. And again, you will have to be very, very careful about certain countries, right? Like countries, Brazil, we know the government, right? Democracies and communist countries are way too different, right? We want to make sure that we have a basic knowledge. I have not heard of, that's a good question. Let me explore that. Maybe their immigration policies don't invite. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The question is, okay, let me rephrase the question and you tell me whether the question is adequate. Are you saying if there is a weightage given if you are good in sports? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So, undergrad, typically you apply in the 12th grade, right? So in the US, we have this concept of varsity, just like university. So just take out uni and the varsity. So they call it a varsity teams. Okay. So right from 9th grade, when you enter high school, every school has a varsity team. Okay. And if you are playing football, soccer, baseball, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, tennis, all these are sports teams. And they are called as, before even varsity, there is called as junior varsity. Okay. So when the students are in 9th grade or 10th grade, they can be part of the junior varsity. If you are excellent in that sport, even in 9th grade, you can apply or get qualified for varsity. So varsity is senior. You can say junior and senior, right? So, so just to give you an example, in my son plays tennis and he's he might get, his 9th grade, he might get into varsity because of his, thing. But if you are just first, typically you get into junior varsity and then you progress to varsity. And yes, they give a lot of weightage to the sports, to the community service. So typically your application has to be very well-rounded. Your academics matter. Your test scores matter. Your SOP matters. Within SOP, what you have done matters. Extracurricular things means, like what is your passion? Apart from your academics, is it robotics? Is it sports? And the fourth thing is community service. You absolutely have to have the community service done, some hours of community service, right? So make sure that you already get associated doing, local, in case of say COVID days, right? You can always say that you served at some hospital. Education, our whole community is associated with education, right? You can always say you were part of mentoring, right? And we are, in fact, we do that all the time. Make sure you are able to articulate that in your SOPs. So absolutely all those things are given tremendous amount of weightage. Oh yeah, that was the question. Okay. The question is on medicine. Okay, we talked about engineering, MBAs and MPH, social sciences. We did not speak about medicine. Medicine is a very critical discipline and heavily regulated discipline, right? Because it deals with life. Life is taken very seriously in foreign countries. So even for the US students, right, who are born and citizens, they after 12 they don't go to medical school. Just like we get into first year of MBBS, it doesn't happen like that. You have to do 3 years of pre-med. This pre-med that they have to do 3 years before you get into the medical school. And after that, you get into the actual medical school, which is 5.5 years plus internship. So typically US, medicine is like 10 to 12 years of, investment from time perspective. Huh? Canada, I don't know much. So let me finish the US part, sir. So what happens? So this is about the US people, right? So if you are in India, you cannot directly apply to US for medicine. So just like engineer could take GRE here and then, apply, right, and get there. There is a test called as USMLE, okay, which the doctors have to take to apply for MBBS. The foreign students have to take USMLE. I've forgotten the long form to get into the medical school. Now, USMLE is unlike GRE, cannot be taken in foreign land. You have to be in US to take USMLE. So, just to give an example, consider a boy goes as a dependent on a girl, on a spouse visa, and goes in the US. The girl might be working or studying, doesn't matter. So that spouse, the guy, because he's now living in the US, can take USMLE, or vice versa, right? The boy is there and girl goes as a dependent, and if she has done something, then she can take the USMLE. So you have to be on the soil of US to take a USMLE. So it's really tough. USMLE, I think you have to have an MBBS here, and then you have to take. And some professions require licensing also, like law and medicine. Both of them, you have to seek licensing after your studies. So, for example, for law, what do we call that? For law, what do we call that test? Bar. Yes, you have to take a bar exam to get the licensing, and then you can work. So these two professions are very, very lucrative. Once you complete the studies, then you earn a lot of money. But it's always, to your question, sir, more the investment in terms of time, money, effort, the better the returns. Okay, the question is, some people who would have gone to Russia or some of the European countries for MBBS, finish their MBBS, and if they want to do the MD in US, then what are the avenues? Frankly, I don't know. But I know that there are some students who have gone to even China for MBBS, right? Some Asian countries, China and this side of the world, South Asia. I would imagine they would have a similar requirements, if I'm not wrong. They will still have to take USMLE and do that. But let's explore more. I don't want to be giving wrong information. I don't know much about it, but I would imagine that US will typically, consider all courses, all outside courses on par. Oh, USMLE is difficult also, yeah. But then again, we have mentors. We have Sheetal Meshram, Dr. Sheetal Meshram, absolutely sweet girl and very, very passionate in guiding our students. She's been guiding. So, she maintains her own group because we don't know much. So we are not in her group. But I know that if any of you are looking to, happen to go there and, you've pursued your MBBS here, definitely do take that route of USMLE and pursue your US education? Sorry? She's in US. She lives in Denver, Colorado, but she's very active in, and there are some India mentors also in Chandigarh, doctors in Chandigarh. They've all formed the group and they guide students for medicine. Okay, so yeah. So we are giving, so typically what happens when you are applying for, want to apply for foreign studies, first thing is your document should be ready. Okay. If you don't, if you need your help in documentation, typically, you know, our mentor, our counselors will be helping you and, you know, we have to pay them. So we will charge whatever is needed for that. But if your documents are ready, then absolutely free, because whatever application fees, waivers that we get, we just transfer that. In fact, we have gotten some extra credits also. So for the good student, we'll just extend those credits. You know, and absolutely meritorious students will extend those credit. We'll just extend one credit, one free credit to one person, so that, you know, different students get those credit. And yes, so otherwise we just giving free, but just, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Application process is relatively very cheap, right? Maybe $200 here and maybe $350 for that official evaluation, right? Yeah. Now, so this will help you with getting the admit, right? Then do we need, yeah. Then typically what happens, you, when you get an admit, to confirm your admission, okay, the question is, if you are 50 plus in age, what are the prospects? Okay. So with regards to studying, sir, there is no age bar. Okay. Yeah, you can go to any these countries. The other day I was sitting in a consulate function. The lady came to me. She must be in late 50s. I just started socializing with her. What do you do? And she said, I've joined university. Okay, so almost nearing 60 lady. Okay, so there is no age bar. So you can go anytime. Of course, our government of Maharashtra scholarship has that 40 years limit, whatever, right? So you will not be able to avail that scholarship. But on your own, you can go anytime. That's number one. And number two is if you want to apply to immigration directly. So US doesn't encourage any immigration policy, right? You have to have a H1, you have to have a B1, then you apply for a GC, like that is the process. In Canada, there's a PR process, okay? And Canada PR process is a pointer-based process. In that, for that process, you have to take IELTS, and that's called a generic IELTS, not general IELTS, not academic IELTS, okay? Because you're just applying for PR. And if you go to the Canadian IRCC website, they explain the entire process. And at one point of time, I can give you my Excel sheet. I downloaded that. So you can just punch in every answer, and you'll get to know the score. And depending on the score, you will know what are your chances of getting the PR. So I think, and that cutoff also, they keep changing. Okay, sometimes if they get a lot of applications, they will just increase the cutoff. If they want more people, then they will reduce the cutoff. So that Canada process is totally dependent on those are the factors. So age, more the age, lesser the point. Higher the number of education, right? Like you are bachelor's, master's, PhD. He is PhD. Yeah. So you can add that up and your point will increase. If you have relatives there, right, that will increase. So there are a bunch of these questions and then they add up. So you can write to me and I'll just send you that Excel. And but you know, I don't know, that might be a dated Excel, so you should always go to the official IRCC. Okay, Canada guys, okay, one more, sir. One more thing. In Canada, you have to be absolutely certain you are talking to the right agency. Okay? Because the agencies that will say that, oh, we will process your PR, they have to officially register on the IRCC website that they are authorized. IRCC give them license to process. If they are not licensed, they will charge 50K and your 50K are gone. And then you will just keep going 3 years and you will say that why my PR has not come. Okay, so just make sure, ask them. Do you have the IRCC? Are you listed on their website as authorized, okay, processing agent? Yeah. And just let me finish. By the way, I had tried that partnership, so my name went there. Because I could not get, they said, I have to withdraw your name. So it's that official. So, and they withdrew our agency's name. Yeah. Okay, so we have our, you know, of course, this company is incorporated in US. And we have our counselors here. Yeah, absolutely. So we have presence both. Our counselors can talk during daytime here, and our US people can talk during their office hours, whatever is convenient to students. तर मला वाटतं आपण जाऊया. आय थिंक थँक्यू सो मच एव्हरीवन फॉर मेकिंग दिस व्हेरी इंटरॅक्टिव्ह. आय होप इट बेनिफिट्स यू अँड प्लीज डू कीप इन टच विथ अस.